Oh, dear God. Dear God. End it all. This show. Oh.
Hi, everybody. My name is Puppetine from the Geeky Puppet Show here on the Geeky Puppet Show with my fellow drinking co-host, Froggy.
Hi.
Hi. And we have just watched Miss Marvel. It's the first episode, the series premiere on Disney+. And, well, this has been anticipated for quite some time. Yeah. Mostly anticipating as whether or not this show is of any quality. Because while there are many changes made to the character's power set, and from the looks of it, it could look like an old Nickelodeon mystical show.
Actually, not Nickelodeon, old school Disney, Lizzie McGuire.
I liked Lizzie McGuire growing up.
I didn't say Lizzie McGuire is bad. I'm just saying, remember when she was driving things she saw all the different
groups? That's a good point. All the drawings and things. Yes, you're right, Froggy. That's a very good comparison.
Yeah, I'd better see Hilary Duff, though.
Okay. But
Did you like to watch that? I'm going to watch that.
Well, I believe that's also on Disney+. Could be wrong.
Sweet.
But we are here to talk about Miss Marvel. And, usually we just sit down and we recap the events, but there's really not a lot to tell you. The entire plot of this first episode is Kamala.
Well, it's her dealing with her whole life and how the teachers and even her parents don't understand her. They call her weird. Her dad is a pushover. Her mom is very overbearing. She's 16 years old. She's got a best friend who basically illegally lives by himself above a gas station.
Can we talk about him?
Well, his name is Bruno. I was told we're not allowed to talk about Bruno.
I don't see Mr. Eric Breen in the comment section, so I believe we're good.
If he catches us, it's on you.
Okay.
So I finally got to figure out who Bruno is. I was once told I'm not allowed to talk about him, but I never knew who he was. And Bruno, for those who don't know, Bruno is her best friend.
He's a smart feller.
And I gotta say, for those who watch the Disney cartoons, the only version of Cloud I know was that she was inhuman and that Bruno was her friend. And so that's what I remember is that part. Now this show is going away from all the comic book stuff and just creating its own thing. Instead, and
a little bit.
Let's talk about that. Changing her powers. So because before I had no problem with that. She basically had basically Mr. Fantastic powers. She could stretch, do whatever she wanted.
Yeah.
But she had the embiggen. That was so awesome. She's very spunky, all that stuff. Okay. She's still got the attitude, but not as much as without these powers. Instead, she has wrist gauntlets that put out light shows.
Well, I believe it's supposed to be like a crystalline cosmic energy that bursts from her gauntlet.
Yeah, and so we first see the gauntlets, but we don't see them later in use till almost towards the end of the show.
Yeah, because most of it is about her life, and so she's got her heads in the clouds.
Her brother's perfect. Her mom, pretty much. If her brother wants to, if she plays it out, she gets to argue with her parents. He asks them if she can go to Avenger Con. And her mom's like, "Oh no, you're not gonna wear the skimpy outfits and like skin tight." She's like, "Mom, it's not skin tight, and also, it's nothing like what you think it is." Because her mom basically wants her to be a nun.
Her mom is overbearing on her.
Very overbearing.
Doesn't understand, but you know what? Her brother is there to help have her back, and he explained it to her. But her mother, still wanting somebody there with her, she insisted that her father go with her, and they would both dress as the Hulk.
Oh, that was horrible.
That was very. You cringed in that moment, but you were supposed to. That was the point. And Kamala says, "I can't do that. I can't. It'll be embarrassing." And
her dad gets offended, and her mom gets offended too.
Her dad looked forward to going, and you know what? There was no reason why he couldn't go as the Hulk and she as Captain Marvel. But
they weren't going to let her do that, though.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't really care
I
about
put all this work in here without even asking you, and decided what you're going to wear for you.
Yeah.
That is crap. And I wish she would speak back up to her mom. Especially later on when her, we'll get to that point when we get to that bridge. We'll hop onto it. And
is it my bridge?
Dear God, this is a Disney show. We're not talking about that bridge.
Oh, sorry.
That's a bridge too far.
Yeah, but ultimately, Kamala devises a plan using the smart system that her friend, who, like we said, he's a smart feller, he made basically a Google or Alexa that you can talk to.
He made an Alexa device.
Made it himself, and it actually works really well.
It's called Zulu. Or something like that. Or
Zuzu, maybe?
Zuzu, maybe. Yeah, it sounds better.
Yeah. And so Kamala says, okay, I know what we're going to do with this. We can monitor the house, and you know what? I'll sneak out, and we will go, to Avengers.
You know what, though? I liked her plan, and her costume that she wore better in that plan was a lot better than the one she wore.
Yes, because the whole point of that was that
her imagination
it was in her mind. That's the whole point. She's seeing it better than what it is, because she really is just a 16-year-old girl who's a fan of Captain Marvel.
The plan was to go to AvengerCon.
Yep.
And the party's the first thing, and because her mom said no, she's going to sneak out. She wrote it all down on a chalkboard. And then this is very Disney-like. So I can't fault her for this. I said this show is very much Disney McGuire. Her head's in the clouds. She wants to do this. She has to sneak out. Classic Disney trope. Remember. So she explained to her friend, the other Avengers, like, we're going to do this. First, we're going to, I'll jump out. I'm going to put my awesome costume on. I'll jump out onto my branch on the tree next to me. I'll do a little somersault flip, land on our bikes. We'll take our bikes. And when we'll get to the bridge. And when the bus comes, we'll ride our bikes off the bridge and land them on top of the bus. Really cool. And then we'll bring our bikes onto the bus, and then we'll go and we'll do things. We'll have fun at the convention. Turns out, she goes, she does execute this plan. She jumps onto the tree branch. It breaks out with her. She falls on top of her. Now this is where she's dead for how heavy how big that branch is.
I know. That happens later, too, because they do get to Avengers Con, but it doesn't go exactly as planned. She loses her bike, and when there, she forgets her friend makes her these gloves to help cheer her up.
Yeah, she's in the bathroom,
that glow.
But because they wanted her to, Bruno said, you should probably bring something that's related to you, culture like that. So he brings her basically her aunts or her grandmas.
Yeah, her grandmother's grandmother left her some things.
Which we know in the very beginning when she got the box of mail, her mom saw and basically recognized what they were.
Yep.
So I wonder if her mom knows those things cause powers.
Probably.
And actually, you know what? I just saw the whole entire show. The reason her mom told her bear because her grandma was a superhero.
Well, actually, we watch Kung Fu, and the mother has a very similar situation with her sister, who was obsessed with the bloodline.
I solved this mystery within 3 seconds.
Good job. There's probably something like that.
Yes.
But when we get to Avengers Con, the costume contest comes quickly. She can't get her gloves because it's all the way there and it's the last call.
Yep.
She's able to open her bracelet and put it on. She goes up on the stage and suddenly she's getting all messed up in the head because
the flashbulbs. She's at the end of the stage, she can't walk, and people are flashing. Eventually she freaks out and she basically throws her hand first, and an energy beam comes out, and everybody's with their phones because this is New York, where everybody just records everything with their phones because look, someone's shooting. Let's record it.
No.
That's been Avengers, man. Take your phone out. It's like you're gonna get killed.
Well, they had their phones out because it was a cosplay.
It's a trope that Disney has done in one of their Marvel cartoons. There's always someone inspired me that makes fun of them too. He's like, dude, really?
Someone with the phone. But when she does that, there's ultimately no backlash at first because she does end up hitting poor giant. I guess he is Ant-Man in that costume.
Can we talk about something else before this?
Sure.
We learned that Scott Lang has a podcast.
Well, no. He
did
had
interviews
a
on the podcast
where he did an interview.
He did multiple interviews.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Good
So
for him.
great. I love he got mentioned though. Little things like that. But
Will
anyway,
Paul Rudd please appear on our show?
well, Paul Rudd. Well, if he appeared on this show, it'd be just me and him.
You can't kick me off.
If Paul Rudd says that, I'll only be on there with the frog, you're going bye-bye.
It's my channel. You can't kick me off, frog.
Yeah, you're right. I don't got legs.
Oh, guess you got arms that can push though. Oh, anyway, where were we? Oh, well, Ant-Man's giant head falls off.
Explain this. Explain this. They have a giant Mjolnir being suspended in the air, and they have a giant statue of Ant-Man. They have another of but Captain Marvel suspended there. So when she does the light show, everybody's recording their phones and then she hits the giant head of the Ant-Man. It falls into the water, and then it starts rolling, taking everything out. Realistically, it wouldn't do that. It would have stopped.
Well, but
they're not made that heavy. They're usually like styrofoam, whatever, no plastic.
Well,
anyway,
yeah, but you know what happens to Mjolnir? Mjolnir gets knocked off.
Oh my gosh!
The girl that
Kamala.
Yes, the one that it's not a rival, and
Zoe
hasn't really done anything to be a bad person.
And Zoe shows up. Zoe shows up at the thing, and Kamala's kind of like, oh great, now I'll go in. And look, she's wearing a costume. It's not even the correct costume because she was wearing.
It's actually closer to the original Miss Marvel.
I know. Yeah, right. Original. And this girl, because the hammer, it causes a cable to snap. The big giant Ant-Man head helmets, and it causes a cable to snap on the hammer. The hammer swings down, takes up poor Miss. I forgot her name already. Yeah, she's swinging around. Yeah, she was swinging around, and then she gets slammed against a wall, and then because come on, reaches her hand out, and then with the
gauntlet, it stretches out a giant crystalline hand.
Yeah, and they catch her and then jumps. So then they leave. They get on the bike. They're both freaking out. They're trying to get back because she's trying to get back before her parents realize she's gone. She's on top of Bruno's hands, lifting her up onto her second floor, the roof until she climb on. And then she gets a little energy boost and jumps from the gauntlets.
Pretty good.
Yep. Kind of like if those who've read Invincible, Eve has this power. She has floating discs that she can jump on.
So ultimately, this leads to a conversation with her mom.
Her mom's waiting in there. Your mom's.
Hey, you got to figure out what you want with your life. You can't do this. I've seen this happen before with her mother, and so this you've got to figure it out.
No,
you being rebellious isn't you.
Hold on, she did not say anything about the grandmother in this little thing. She said she's seen this happen before, and she doesn't watch. And she said they all care about you, but you got to decide. Do you want to care about the cosmic head in the clouds, or do you want to be part of this family, pretty much?
Yeah, kind of.
And she kind of cries, and then she's like, "Do you have a decision to make?" And he walks out. And I'm like, at this point, it's like, you got superpowers. Go back outside and play with them.
Well, she lays on the bed, and she looks at her hand, and she whispers the word cosmic. She wants this. She wants this side of things. But there's also
if your mom constantly they say it's like being homeschooled. Not allowed to do anything, can't have any friends.
Well, ultimately, there's one more. This is the first time that I actually remember in a long time the first episode having an end credit scene.
Yes. So here's the plot. The plot thickens. These two cops at a precinct, we think they're cops. We don't know. They could. Remember, Shield's gone.
Yeah.
This is after. Yeah. Shield
could be
gone.
Sword.
Yeah. Could be correct. Actually, you're right. It could be Sword because they see that the light show and the guy's like, yeah, probably whatever, just whatever. And the lady cop shows it to him, and he looks. He's like, well, let's go pick her up then because they've never seen these powers before. They're also in New Jersey.
Jersey,
And that's what next to Frank Drescher.
Okay. So yeah, that's setting up. Somebody's going to be. These cops are going to try to go pick up Miss Marvel and bring her into the precinct, whatever their precinct is. And Miss Marvel just finds her powers. Kamala finds her power set in this.
I'll call her Miss Marvel because she's just Kamala right now.
Okay, she's Kamala. I'll say that. Mm-hmm. The culture is accurate. The girls are not allowed to wear very much, and the boys have more freedom. Yeah, you're right.
Yep, just like Jewish kids.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it's their oppressive cultures.
Self-oppression, I guess. I suppose I'm not going to comment on that. I am not a part of those cultures. But you know what I'm going to say?
No, I'm not human, but I can still talk about them.
Well, we have something known as the felt pass.
I study biology. I can talk about humans as much as I want.
Well, you're a frog. You get away with a lot more. I'm a puppet that's vaguely human-like.
The only thing that's going to happen to you is that less people might show up under the bridge. You're fine.
Listen. I can't risk running off business. But ultimately, I don't think that this is a bad show. I'm going to say it. I think this is all right. It is 100%. I know you said it earlier about Naomi in a private chat, Froggy, but this is 100%.
Well, no one said anything about Captain Rogers' home being Jersey. Marania.
Oh, maybe that's where the con took place.
She lives in. Well, maybe, yeah. Well, she lives in New Jersey, so maybe
she lives in Jersey.
They took the bus, so maybe they went to Brooklyn. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it could be that. The bus could have taken them over to Brooklyn for the con.
I wonder how far that is away. Brooklyn, New Jersey. That's 2 hours?
I'm
not
sure.
Hour away?
But ultimately, you're right. I'm sorry to sidetrack. You're right. You said that they said that they would only spend an hour there.
Yep.
So if they got off at 5 and caught the bus, that'd be a lot of time to kill in between to get back home by 9. So they were probably trying to arrive about 7 o'clock.
Yep.
And spend an hour and then take an hour to get home. Wow, we figured it out.
Yay! We did it! We did it! Hooray!
But yes, ultimately, I don't think this is a bad show. I think that it might not be for some people because it's not directed towards them. This is exactly like a show that would be on Disney Plus, like Lizzie McGuire, which is for tweens and young teens, and they relate to that. And we can't because we are 1, puppets, and 2, older.
Hola! Do you see how many fucks I give?
Oh no.
That's right.
1.
I have no fucks.
No, that's 2. You can't say anymore. Anyway, this, like I said, I think this was a fine episode, a fine introduction to the character. I am going to admit that I am not too familiar with the comic book character. She's never really had any kind of interest.
Apparently, from what I've been told, she's had over 5 different retcons to her origin.
Really?
Something like 4 or 5. Because they keep changing. And I'm pretty sure Inhuman was one of them.
Inhuman was the main one. That's what everybody knows her as.
Yeah.
Well,
it's like freaking like Miss not Miss Marvel. What's the other one?
I don't know.
America Chavez. They just retcon her origin. I think she's.
Well, that was her first retcon, and it's actually for the better if she's actually from Earth, in my opinion.
Really? Where do people like her exist on Earth? I had no idea.
But that is pretty much the end. You've heard my thoughts. I thought it was decent, but we want to hear yours. So make sure to put them down in the comments below. Also, I can hear Froggy in my mind. He's telling me to go ahead and put up the...
Actually, I was just saying this. Who's the puppet that lives under the bridge? Puppetine with no pants.
Oh, we're not allowed to talk about that. And plus, I now have pants. See?
Oh, wow. Wow,
yeah.
That's great. You're no longer a nuisance to society. I'm naked.
I know. Get some clothes, you sick frog.
I don't need clothes. I'm cuddly lightly.
I'm actually going to disagree with this because I loved the backgrounds. Whenever she's walking and she's in her mind and she's seeing things in a sketchy kind of way, I love that. And when they were texting and it merged in with the environment, like neon signs being a crying emoji or them saying no, and it just blended
Honestly,
with the
I was lost with the emoji things. I thought maybe the villain's gonna be an emoji person.
No.
I was like,
I
yeah,
thought that
that
was
creepy,
great.
scary.
This
Emoji
show has
watching you.
style, and I love it. I love the style. So I don't think it's bad, and I think that it could get better. It depends on where it goes.
Good.
But we obviously know that we'll be sticking with it. So please make sure to leave your thoughts below. We want to hear what you think of Miss Marvel. Are you watching it? If you're not, what did you think about what we said? And are you going to give it a chance? You probably should. Also, her family life scenes. Yes, you are kind of correct.
I mean, yeah, the family life scenes, like I said, the mother is kind of overbearing. The dad's all right. The brother's cool. He could have been the average brother, like, oh, I'm the cool one, go away.
He's actually
But he actually realized, it's like, I like when he comes out, he's like, salam, and they're fighting, he's like, so no salam then.
No salam. But also, it gets a little repetitive there, but I think that is
It wasn't that bad.
Trial and tribulation of her life. It's a lot like that. She wants something a little more, and her mother isn't sure about it. And
really
says,
wanting to enforce you that her mom is unlikable.
I don't think unlikable is the right term.
You know what? Facts don't care about your feelings, puppet.
Oh, well, it's only the first episode. We're going to have to see where they go from here. I've told you to comment now twice. This is your third time, so make sure to put it down. Also, make sure don't put down the show. I mean, put down your comment down below. But also,
or you can put down the show and a comment down below.
You're allowed to do that. Yes. Just please be.
So that's everybody. We ask that you please click likes, and if you haven't subscribed, do it.
Check out the Ko-Fi too.
Yes.
If you can help with the channel, that helps out a lot. Our lives are busy.
Goes towards to helping us renew our Marvel and DC Universe apps. That way we can read books to you. Because we care about viewers like you.
Indeed. Thank you.
The channel is sponsored by
PBS,
Puppet Under the Bridge, and Frogs Anonymous, and viewers like you.
Puppet's been streaming, PBS. But that's it. So thank you and goodbye.
Who is the puppet living on the bridge? Puppetine with no pants.